Wow, man, this thing just keeps stopping. I don't know what's going on. I must have hit it. All right, I gotta be very careful. Start over. Okay. Black as a ghost. Here's why those who refer to themselves as black need to image upgrade is what the black people need. Okay, and that is an upgrade in name, upgrade in appearance, upgrade in attitude, upgrade in how one interacts with other cultures and groups of people. Because see, they're here. So therefore, either we're going to be on top of this situation and thing, or we're going to be subject to it and dictated as to how one moves and interacts and goes about. You have a lot of newcomers here who have no idea, no clue, but yet we're scoffing at all of them. But they're here and they're steady pouring in. This is a takeover. Ladies and gentlemen, America has been compromised. The United States basically has been compromised. America hasn't, but the United States has. Now listen, a lot of people here who don't know what they're doing, have no clue, and a lot of them, some of them may even have no care. But if you're a fool if you don't care about where you're standing. So you might want to find out. My saying is, you don't have to do as the Romans do, but know as they do. Now with that, we go into the American Heritage Dictionary. All right. Well, first, I would like to state this recording is for copyright purposes only. Any reproduction of this recording is restricted by me, the author Kenneth Wesley Peters. You can see my face as I'm speaking into the camera at this time. Uh, you see my lips moving as the words I'm speaking. Any reproduction, uh, uh, including but not limited to sounds bouncing off the walls in the room, echoing any sounds that go outside of the room as far as my voice can be heard. All rights are reserved. Uh, Rhythms, beats, melodies, lyrics, uh, any words being spoken in riddle, intellectual property, illustrations, and artwork like such is owned by me and restricted for reproduction and copying. Also, any intellectual information that is new and is owned by me, and any print of text information is owned by me that I wrote or typed myself. Now, with that, this is a copy of the American Heritage Dictionary online. This is not my work. This is just a copy of the word black. I don't know if it's being picked up in the camera. So we're going to start reading from there. So, being a color of black, producing or reflecting comparatively little light, and having no predominant hue, having little or no lights, a black moonless night. Now, we're going to stop right there. Okay, number one, being of color black, producing or reflecting comparatively little light, and now that's not a true statement either. Now, reflecting might be, we can go for that, but producing, well, maybe we can go for that as well too, because what's happening is the light is being absorbed or concentrated. Is what's happening. So it's not necessarily the reflection when it comes to what those who are referring to as black. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the word black is used as a tool, as a hijack tool for the word dark and dense. See, when we look at it as far as darkness and density, these sentences, even these first two, begin, certain things begin to show more as evidence of some sort of trickery at hand, uh, producing or reflecting comparatively little light. Okay, so if the light is being concentrated, let me see if I can get this reflection out of it. Okay, that's better. Sort of, maybe. I'll keep it at an angle. Maybe we can see it better. Uh, this is not a good. I don't know if the words are being picked up very well. Maybe if I bring the camera back more. I'm not sure, but at any rate, wow. At any rate, we're dealing with the craft here, you know, and whether you like it or not, whether you prescribe to that or not, or want to deal with that, I mean, it is what it is. That's what's going on, okay? And apparently, that's what's going on in law as well. They're casting spells in court. They're writing documents in that way. The lawyers and judges. So the court is set up in certain kinds of ways that show homage to belief systems and of religion and secret worships. Okay, and we're getting into some of that. So here is where it takes place in the dictionary. When you look up these meanings, here's the spell being cast right here. Now let's go down to two. Having little or no light, a black moonless night. Now that is totally false. Totally false. Because see, in religion, we're talking about the light. Light. Jesus is the light. Jesus is the sun. Jesus is the bearer of the light. So if black is void of any light, then it's godless. Black is godless. You say, well, I don't believe that stuff, man. That's some old. Well, yeah, but see, what you're missing is there are other entities on the planet of those who will. So when the will or the given belief is this is the case, the subconscious, which is the real data of information, will record this as such. You see, it's not just what you may read, it's what you think, it's what you will, it's what you feel, it's how you will something into nature or reality. And this is some of the sub rules of nature or even cardinal rule of nature. You know, this is our theory though. So I don't want to go too far as putting a period on something. Uh, and this is a light version, by the way, the American Heritage. We can go to the international dictionaries, and the older ones you go to, the worse this stuff gets. I mean, but let's go down to, you have number three, also black, of belonging to racial groups having brown or black skin. We know the spiel on that. They talk about Africa, they talk about African American. And number four, as we go down, being a trail of a skin, being marked with a sign having a black diamond for skiers. Now I'm familiar with that because I've been skiing a few times. Well, let's go down here. The six, soiled as from the soot, dirty feet, black from playing outdoors. Now, here could be some trickery taking place. Why? Because I said earlier that we are the base, and we're going to take a look at the illustration that I drew of a pyramidal structure that puts the black at the base, so at the foot of the foundation. See, this is what this is doing. It's putting black and those who refer to themselves as such black at the foot. Now they're gonna say, well, oh, this is just definitions. Man, you are way out there. Nothing. We're talking about sorcery here, as my partner was saying to me, right? Now there are people who are more skilled at this. You know, um, I'm not even professing to be, very knowledgeable about these things, but I know what I know, and I'm giving you what I know here. Okay, so we're not going too deep with it, but why is that number seven? Thought seven was supposed to be lucky seven. We have at seven. We have evil. Y'all see that? Wicked. The pirates of black deeds. Wow. Well, that's your number seven, black people. There's your number seven in the American Heritage Dictionary. Well, we don't support that, man. We growed our bush up. We got fish and grits on our plate. We support Colin Kaepernick down on one knee like a little boy. We got white Jesus on our wall. We don't support black Jesus. We in the soup line 3 days after the government closed down. See? We vote for either Bernie. You put your bid in on Bernie, black people. Bernie Sanders. All right. So Nike ain't never cared about you, but they got your boy a nice deal. So he probably be your next Black Gilligan president that you gonna run out and vote for. And that's all good for commerce. That's all good for keeping you at the bottom of the base on your knee, little boy. You know, it's time for some football, but you got your big Don King Bush and your soul brother black leather glove on, like you shaft some motherfucking body. But we ain't gonna get into it. Now I can't do the children thing on YouTube. I have to put not for children now that I said that. But we got to get into this thing about black. What's really going on, and I understand it's the feelings around it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not no highly dark melanated brother when I'm standing next to some of these brothers, man. Especially like maybe some brothers from Sudan or somewhere along that line, was very hot, and you know, there's no comparison. We're talking about the most highly, the most uh, people on the highest echelon. This is the highest delicacy of the purple people, the highly melanated blood people. This is the highest delicacy for them because they know they got all the information. You know, Cleopatra and all of the library of information, the Queen's Library. They got all this information. You the one that's out in the cold and dumb and ignorant to the fact that, or for the most part, that we have wordplay taking place here. This is why we have to unravel the linguistic matrix, brother, because the battle is really taking place right here. You think it's a battlefield. You think you gonna go get your gun and Big Baby gonna bust, Big Baby gonna shoot, Big Baby gonna shoot. Well, when I go to the range, all I see is people who don't look nothing like me. You know what I mean? And I'm not up in them mountains. I'm not up in them near West Virginia mountains, you see? So far as somebody shooting, we can shoot, but the shooting ain't gonna be nothing like the shooting that's going on over in the projects. It's gonna be a whole nother level of shooting. The battleground is going on right here. And despite whether there's shooting or not, right? It don't matter. Because when the shooting stop, when all the bullets is used up and all the cartridges is gone, and people tired of the carnage, and you can't go to the 7-Eleven no more and get you a Slurpee, right? Uh, or some free Wi-Fi. Okay, all right. This is still going to be at play. This is why we have to rid ourselves of the color game. Okay, white and black have been hijacked. The colors, the colors, white and black, have been hijacked. You see, this is what we're trying to make clear to you. And we're going to prove it. If the recorder stays on, if the recorder stays on long enough, we're going to try to prove this and show you this. Another video too, only because I'm still learning this camera. We want to get through this. It's important. It's important because then you have the basis of the outlaw's position. We're giving you our basis of our position. We're not hiding that. What is the basis of our position? Well, first of all, to start law, you must first come together with an agreement of sorts. In order to create a trust, you need at least three parties acting in a position. Why? This, we're saying, comes from the actual macro example of the Taurus field. That those who are enacting laws, administrating these laws, and enforcing these laws are acting upon them according to something that is happening on a planetary scale, astrological scale, um, and it is also dealing with metaphysics. Why? Because it's broad in its scope. You have examples of this in nature, like with the apple was one example I gave of the apple acting and doing and same in its design and function as a torus field in the energy of reincarnating energy, keyword, which is recyclical energy, self-generating energy, also keywords or key phrase. Self-generating energy is God-like. So we could definitely see how those who are enacting these laws could be worshiping something that's self-generating. It is the settler of the material realm. So if Satan so forth rules the material realm, which if this is what we're going by, our definitions of our language and words, wow, here we have evil at number 7. At number 8, we got cheerless, depressing, gloomy, black thoughts. If that is not a spell being cast on you, black people, and I'm not describing myself as black, you're black. Look at what, and you're a card carrying member now. If you have a driver's license, birth certificate, marriage license, you're paying your taxes, you have a bank account with a credit card, you have a car with a car note, and that you're paying on, a house with a mortgage, you are a participating member. Am I dissing any of that? No. I'm telling you what it is. You're the one that's getting emotional. You're the one who's getting beside yourself. You're the one saying, I don't understand, because you don't understand. Well, that's cool. We can work with that. But you're the one who's in criticism of something that's being said here. Is if that's the case, then we over here show improve. How do we show improve? We're showing you the illustrations. We can go to other NASA illustrations. NASA themselves, funded by your government of the United States, will have the illustrations much clearer and much better depiction than what I can draw on this piece of paper leaning over this pipe. Okay? But let's get it because the time is getting close. So where are we going with this? Being characterized by morbid or grimly satire, humor, black comedy. Being characterized by morbid or grimly satiric humor, black comedy. Amos and Andy. Okay. Attended with disaster, calamitous, a black day, the stock market crash of a Black Friday. This is all tragic in the eyes of other groups of people. Like Europeans remember Black Friday as something tragic. And it was. It was an opportunity to get low stocks and make investments. But, it's overall looked at as something gloomy. Okay? And it goes on and on. It goes on and on. This is a lighter version, the American heritage. This is not unabridged. It's a bridge. Okay? And then you have older dictionaries. You have all kinds of dictionaries that will give you the definition of black, and it's always overwhelmingly negative. It's overwhelmingly negative. So you say, well, we'll do our own thing. That stigma is still on you. You need to understand how this sorcery stuff works to a degree. I'm not saying get into it. I don't recommend that. What I am saying is know as the Romans do when you're in Rome. We're in the DMV. What shows do you see on TV in reference to the DMV? Government, science, DARPA, Lockheed. We rapping about. Hey, they all here. They're all here. X Files, the movie, West Virginia. Where am I going with this? If it ain't happening in the DMV, it ain't happening. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, all I know is that 808 boom that we rock in the go-go community. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I'm seeing right here. The 808 boom. Yeah, that's what we seeing right here. Here's that O down here. Ooh, see? Now the sun, the Helios, the trek of the sun is taken here. Down here we have between December 21st and 25th, the sun reaching its peak at the same height each day is considered to be a flat line at this time. And here's where Jesus was hung on the cross and transitioned on for 3 days because the sun is taking the same peak and showing homage to Jesus, apparently. And on the 25th day, the sun takes a higher peak. And from that point on, it keeps going higher and higher and higher until it gets back up to the equinox, uh, crossing the equinox back into spring. You have the higher sun, you have more heat. As we get up here to June 21st, here is March 21st, here's June 21st, here's September 21st, and down here is December 21st, like it's written here. That's why that line is there. It's showing you the South Pole, and that's why they say that they're telling you that Santa Claus is at the North Pole. But the pole just goes straight down like this. It's the same pole. You see? So down here, the south polarity is where that is. That line is there. Uh, what else? You have Jesus hung on the cross between the solstice and the equator. This is our theory. The lightning strike takes place here. Here's where one re-enters into a new existence. A new energy is immersed from the womb. Okay, here's the woman's womb. You can call that the bush if you want, but here's her womb. Here's the triangle that we're showing you on the other illustration. We're going to show you. This is why you have the womb, and you have the male phallus down here. Why is that in science? Because in math, geometry, this is the male end going up and then females coming down. And when the male phallus meets the woman's womb, boom, conception occurs. The sperm fertilizes the egg, conception occurs. The soul and the spirit and the flesh are sewn into one. What is the soul? The soul is like DOS in a computer that is the language tying in the hardware to the software. This is where all of this takes place in the period of the womb, right? And then there's a 9 month birth for humans, but then, this is just representing the rebirth. We're not putting a timetable on this, or this process of electromagnetic energy reimmersing from the torus field. It makes the image like this. We're not making this up. Now, if this is an actual macro example of a energy source permeating through the earth, let's say the earth plane is here, and this is going in this fashion, creating all of this energy that is accessible to life on earth and in earth and under earth and around earth, uh, then then Tesla was on to something huge. Okay, and this is what Tesla was saying. This is what Tesla was dealing with, the self-generating energy, and the generators being able to tap into energies and already present in the earth. This was Tesla's work. Whether it was his alone or he plagiarized some of it, we don't know. But we have heard that. Now, we see an image of Baphomet coming through here too, not just Jesus. Back through, recycled out into. Why? Because positive and negative is taking place out here in the conscious realm, out here on the plane of existence and living is taking place out here as well. Okay, so once a life passes back through into existence, into a new life or living, one is conscious, one is uh, one is viewing, now viewing and touring again, a touring. One is now touring. Okay, so now in this illustration, this could be the angel's wings. watching over Jesus as he's on the cross, passing and transitioning on back up to heaven. But we know in the story of Jesus, he came back in 3 days, back into consciousness. Here's the womb exiting, or the mouth of the beak of the bird. Okay, and then the bird eats through the beak. The bird, and we get down here into the sexes. And eating is a selfish endeavor. Eating is about it's almost primordial in effect. You know, the vein takes place here, the vanity. We're down in the sex organs here. Why? Because here's the male phallus right here, right? Don't forget now. And so if we're dealing with chakras, we're moving from the crown on down, down to the sexes, right? And then down and out into, as we're talking about, a new existence. Here we have the snowman or the bumblebee. It's a blueprint of a snowman or a bumblebee. But it's basically the torus field, and it's showing you what the torus field is doing. And this is probably the best illustration I have because it doesn't have a lot of artwork. The energy is being drawn magnetically back down into this void or vector, if you will. It's moving back down into a vector, meaning as though the energy is squeezing at some point. And there's the point right here, the crossroads. And every crossroads you go to, there's a crossroads in Bladensburg. I guarantee you there's either a graveyard or some sort of holy site near, like a church or mosque near the crossroads. There's something there. And across the Union, the United States, I'm pretty sure every state you go to, the crossroads. All right. So, have I been to them all? No. Now, if you go to them and you take a trip looking at crossroads and you find this to be factual, then there you go. So here's the equinox. Here's the solstice. This is turning in this fashion. The motion of the energy that's churning and the electromagnetic energy. This is a symbol of re-emergence. This is a symbol of divergence. It's also the symbol of male and female sex organs and the sexes. And we're going to continue on. Now, we're making this out to be an owl. Now, here's the page that I wanted to get to. We have 33 minutes now, so we're about to stop this recording. Now, to the right, we have the pyramid. As you can see, the pyramid is plateaus here on the dollar bill. This is what happens, and the top is separated. This is a pyramid in itself. Something else is going on up here. We're here. See, the tribe is here, right? The ground, the foundation that's supporting all the rest of this for hundreds of years. This is what's been going on. So let's take a look. Up here we have the Bilderbergs. We have the Rothschilds. We have the we have the Rockefellers. We have the Bloombergs. We have the Blackwells. Dukes. It goes on and on, but well, not it doesn't go on and on. We have certain families here, and there are 12 families that sit here and decide what goes on for the rest. It's a top-down system that we're dealing with. Down here are the colored. Down here are the highly melanated beings, all across the globe. Africa, no matter where you go, this is the case. And there's different brands of racism according to color. everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. Now, here's the male phallus and the female womb. As the two come down and meet here at the tips, uh, conception takes place. Boom. Here's an illustration of its sexual intercourse. Intercourse is taking place. So, intercourse. Here we go. Boom. Intercourse is taking place. The bow tie is an example as well, or the hourglass uh, of what's going on here. So here's the conception taking place from the female womb and the male phallus. This is also how they illustrate Baphomet. You have the horn Taurus. It is a horn Taurus that we're dealing with, right? And here's where Satan enters into the picture. Here's why Satan is being worshipped in these different ways. Okay, this is the Baphomet, as those who are into this stuff know. You know, they know what I'm talking about. Here we have the Godzilla logo, one eye closed, but another eye in view. This eye is torn. This one eye is closed because this represents the pineal gland, the inner eye. You see, and this G is the gold or Godzilla. Okay. You also have a symbol for pi here. You know, a lot of stuff going on here for Godzilla. But what we really want to show is you have 4, 4, 4, and 4. That equals 16. 1 and 6 equals 7. Down here, you have the trek of the sun. The sun is Helios or Jesus. And each year, the sun starts at March 21st. It goes up to the first 4, which is June 21st. It goes down to September 21st. It hits down here at December 21st, and then it goes back up. Uh, uh, so that's 4. March, June, September, December. But this is just a stretched out version of what the sun is doing. The sun is really going like this around one supposed planet, Earth, or whatever. We're laying it out this way to show you each time it's hitting the cross of the solstice and the equinox on the 21st of March, 21st of March, 21st of June, 21st of September, 21st of December, let's say. Now, it doesn't really go that way, but it just, it's a good way to show you what's going on here. Now, this occurring is creating the number 4. It's creating a symbol. There's your symbol right here, the goalpost. And it represents 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 poles. The number 4 is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 poles. But then you have the home, which represents the goal post as well, which is home. You see the H. This is a football goal post, and you got to kick the ball over the post for a touchdown. You gotta put the pigskin through the poles to get a touchdown. See where I'm going with that? Not being facetious. I'm telling y'all what this is. Okay. And it also makes the number. Excuse me, I messed it up. It makes the number 4. It does have an extra pole here, but this is used in lower football, like high school, junior high, maybe college. But here in the NFL, they use the symbol like this. That's the 4 poles. That's basically Ma'at, or Isis, raising her hands up in victory or in a sexual position to be to receive the intercourse. Uh, it's also a position of serenity. Okay, so you have more than one thing going on here, but I'm just showing you this illustration, and this 4444 equals 7. It reduces down to 7. It equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. In the esoteric world, this is how they get to these numbers. That's basically Jesus, Helios. So trust in Jesus. You see, you follow Jesus' way, and the law will protect you. The law will protect you. This is the thing. It's not what people think it is. They think it's all about race. They think it's all about one's color. The question is, are you following Jesus? Are you following, uh, they say face the sun, east or west. They say follow the sun. Trust in Jesus. And Jesus is the trustee. And Jesus will guide you where you want to go. You will be rewarded for your good deeds. Now, we have here 21, 21, 21, 21. That is each point hitting June 21st. March 21st, June 21st, September 21st, December 21st. You add all of this up, you get 84. 8 plus 4 equals 12. See, there you go. 12 is the ISO image of 21. What's so important about 12? Well, the 12-step program. 12 steps in the staircase. 12 hours on the clock. 12 months in a year. It goes on and on. Right? 12 and 12 equals 24. 24 hours in a day. It's a lot of stuff is going off of 12 on that calendar. And it's in reference to time. 12 is being used in math to quantize, to compound and quantize, and to be able to resolve quantization issues or time very, very quickly. So the number 12 is being used in that way. It's a special number. It's a point. It's showing a pattern. It correlates. All right. So a lot of things happen according to those numbers. Okay. So if all of this is going on, you see the symbols. You do your homework, you will see the reality. The reality is that black is under attack. We know this. How? How deep does it go? It goes very deep. You cannot keep denying these things, and feel as though something's going to change. It's not. It's only going to get worse, if anything. We have to act in a way to bring in a new image. Everywhere I go, when I walk across a lot in the DMV, a grocery store lot, a laundromat lot, a bank lot, a gym lot, people are hitting their car alarms like crazy. And it ain't just because they want you to look at their new car anymore. They're using it as a warning system. They're using it as psychologically, um, 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 psychologically, they don't even realize it, I don't think, to an effect.